Hi everyone. I am here with a Bible reading. I hope you're having a good day. Our prayer card for today I had out here. What'd I do with it? Oh, there it is. I just dropped it in the trash can. Did you see that? I just dropped it in the trash. I'm a nut. I can't keep track of nothing today. Thank you. Today's prayer card. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Amen. Yes, He did. Okay, so I put that aside. Okay, I'm going to start off with a prayer request today. First and foremost, I have a new prayer request. And this family is needing donations for funeral expenses. If you would like to donate, we are trying to collect money to put in a card for them. So if you'd like to donate, please just get a hold of me. Jason Holstein, he is the grandfather, and his daughter Lexi Holstein and her boyfriend Chase Farney. They just lost their 2-month-old son, Liam Donovan, in the hospital the other day. He passed away. He's only 2 months old. And we're trying to help out with money for funeral expenses. So if you could, there's been so much heartache this year already. I mean, it's crazy. I also heard my dad's best friend just passed away as well. So please keep my dad in your prayers. We lost a sister in January, cousin in February. It's just every month so far it's been something. And it seems that way for everybody this year. It's just so much going on. And Jason's daughter Lexi, he has Lexi and then another daughter and then 2 little boys. And they lost their mom, from a heart attack. She wasn't that old. Not too many years ago, a year or 2 ago maybe. So they've had it hard too. And poor Jason, he's had COVID 3 times. And I know his brother Rob's had it, and the people where they worked had it, and so many people here in this building have had it. And I just mean recently, and had it bad. So it's not over like they say, but they are stopping all the funding. Last month was the last extra food stamps, and that's really going to hurt us and a lot of others. A lot. Because the food prices have not went down. But please also keep the following other people in your prayers. Sherm, April Packer, Bonnie Jean, Bonnie Jean's dad, and Bonnie Jean's cat that's missing. Her name is Misty. Lori. The other people Bonnie Jean needs prayer for, God knows who they are and the reasons. Abby Myers. Abby's birthday was yesterday. She turned 24, and she'll be having Liam soon. He's only got 2 weeks to go. She's got to go to Columbus because she's got gestational diabetes, and she's just a teeny tiny little thing. Always has been. So, it's just because she's pregnant, because she never had trouble before, and the baby's big. So they have to go to Columbus in a couple of days to see how they want the baby to be delivered. She herself was breech and was a C-section baby. She was 8 pounds 4 ounces when she was born. Okay. Please keep Cindy and Jim in your prayers. Dora Carper, Rhonda Karshner, Donna and Ray Dunlap, Layla. She's having a lot of problems following from where she was in the hospital. I got your message, Layla. I just haven't really been on there to click on anything yet to respond, but I will. And so Layla needs extra prayers. Please keep her in prayer. Let's see, Judy Thompson, Elizabeth Jeffries, and Joyce Light. I need to get a hold of Joyce as well. We're having trouble with the pharmacy over here again. My doctor, I got a message from them saying that they had called in insulin. They want me on insulin now. And I ran out a bunch of other medicine that's supposed to fill in a second. Sherm goes over there today. They don't have nothing for me. Nothing. They do this to us all the time. But he's got a doctor's appointment Monday, so he's going to tell our doctor about it. Last time they had to call over there and tell him something for them to, you know, do their job. They're always messing with us. I've been on a blood pressure medicine, depression medicine, all kinds of stuff. And I don't got the insulin, and my sugar's been very, very high the last 3 or 4 days. Okay, so I do got a circle of kindness, so I'm going to read those to you now, and then we'll get started with the Bible reading. By George Sand. There is only one happiness in this life, to love and be loved. And that's this picture of these pretty hot air balloons. Alright. The first one is by Allison Wilson Lee from Belle Isle, Florida. This stranger made my wedding day extra special. "11 days before my wedding, my florist quit her job. Most of the floral arrangements I planned to use consisted of artificial flowers. Same. But I desperately wanted a bouquet of real ones. I didn't know where to turn and had little time. Then a co-worker came to the rescue. With an important connection, his neighbor worked with flowers and agreed to help provide a wedding bouquet for me. I don't know how she pulled it off, but this woman delivered a lovely pale blue bouquet. Something borrowed, something blue, something old, something blue. That sounds so pretty, doesn't it? Lovely pale blue bouquet. To me on the morning of my wedding. Thanks to a colleague and a woman I'd never met, I had the flowers I longed for on my special day. The littlest gestures. Her wedding day will always be special because of those strangers. Just from making a bouquet. My aunt made my bouquet. Like I said, my flowers were all artificial. And we got married in the spring. Our anniversary is actually this month, on March 12th. This year will make us 23 years that we've been together and married. And my aunt made my bouquet. It had my favorite flower in it, which is lilacs, and it had daffodils and tulips, and I gave it to my best friend, my maid of honor. Instead of throwing it, you know, I gave it to her. Okay, and the next one is by Angela Parlatour from Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. They helped my students' dream come true. We never done this before at our school. I am a teacher, and my students have been asking me for a while if they could dissect something as part of a science project. A few months ago, I wrote a proposal for a dissection lab project that required donations to be funded. 2 of my cousins donated, but the project still did not get fully funded. I hated to disappoint my students, so I decided to try submitting a proposal again. To my surprise, within 1 day, I received an email saying my project was fully funded. I'm overjoyed by the donations from my cousins and also all the other strangers who wanted to support my students. Thanks to their generosity, I will be able to make my students' requests come true. Sorry. Like I said, my sugar's been very high the last few days, and when it's like that, I am just severely, severely thirsty. I'm gonna have to pee like every 5 minutes. TMI, but it's so annoying. Okay, did you guys do dissection like that when you was in school? Did you guys? What did you guys dissect? The frog? How come we never did it? I mean, I really wouldn't have wanted to, but everybody did but us. Did you guys? I was in science clear up through 12th grade even. Wasn't really good at it either. Science and math were not my thing. I could do English. It was my easiest. I loved essays. I could write an essay like nothing. I saw such in terms of pain. Hot and sweaty. I've been having horrible sweats. I like soaked my clothes every night. My chair. I had to change my clothes I don't know how many times. Let's see, the last one here is by Susan Fox from Weehawken, New Jersey. Kindness is beautiful for both givers and receivers. 15 years ago, I started a charity that I do in the winter for poor children. It began with just warm gloves for cold little hands. And through the kind donations of others, I was able to get several thousand pairs of gloves. I then expanded to hats and socks for these children too. It's been a beautiful experience for the givers and the receivers. As human beings, we are wired for good. We just have to make sure we are always connecting with that by helping others when we can. Amen. And I know other people that do that as well, and they can crochet and stuff, and they make them. I wish I knew how to do that so bad. Crochet, but I can't. My mom tried to show me, but she's left-handed and I'm right-handed, and it just didn't work. I'm not very talented at anything. But our doctor's office, this is the first time I've seen them do it too. They got a Christmas tree up in the lobby still, and I seen that they had hats and gloves and stuff that people put on there to donate. I thought that was nice. Okay, let's see here. So our Bible reading today is Mark chapter 11, verse 27, reading through chapter 12, verse 17, Psalm 47, the whole psalm, and Proverbs chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. Okay, so in Mark we'll be reading about the authority of Jesus questioned, the parable of the tenants paying the imperial tax to Caesar. So that's when you have the teachers of the law trying to stump Jesus once again, but they never have and never will. He always beats them at their own game, beats them in their words, and that just makes them even more angry. Alright, so let's get into the book of Mark. They arrived again in Jerusalem, and while Jesus was walking in the temple courts, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders came to him. "By what authority are you doing these things?" they asked. "And who gave you authority to do this?" Jesus replied, "I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. John's baptism, was it from heaven or by human origin? Tell me." They discussed it among themselves and said, "If we say from heaven, he will ask, then why didn't you believe him? But if we say of human origin," they feared the people, for everyone held that John really was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, "We don't know." Jesus said, "Neither will I tell you by what authority I'm doing these things." You know, to infuriate them. Alright, so continuing on. The parable of the tenants. Jesus then began to speak to them in parables, like he always did. "A man planted a vineyard. He put a wall around it, dug a pit for the winepress, and built a watchtower. Then he rented the vineyard to some farmers and moved to another place. At harvest time, he sent a servant to the tenants to collect from them some of the fruit of the vineyard. But they seized him, beat him, and sent him away empty-handed. How dare they, right? That's not their property. Then he sent another servant to them. They struck this man on the head and treated him shamefully. He sent still another, and that one they killed. He sent many others. Some of them they beat, others they killed. Now listen. He had one left to send, a son whom he loved. He sent him last of all, saying, "They will respect my son." But the tenants said to one another, "This is his heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours." So they took him and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. How do they think it would be theirs anyway? It still does not belong to them. And that's like God sending Jesus, his son whom he loved. And we killed him. All right. What then will the owner of the vineyard do? He will come and kill those tenants and give the vineyard to others. Haven't you read this passage of Scripture? The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Then the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders looked for a way to arrest him, because they knew he had spoken the parable against them. But they were afraid of the crowd, so they left him and went away. But they didn't stay away for long, because ending the book of Mark today, paying the imperial tax to Caesar, they thought for sure they were going to stump Jesus in his words on this one, but it never happened. And it makes them angrier and angrier every time. Later, they sent some of the Pharisees and Herodians to Jesus to try to catch him in his words. They came to him and said, "Teacher, we know that you are a man of integrity. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are. But you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth." So why do they harass them then, right? Because they want the people to listen to them, not anybody else, but to them. They're gods on earth is what they want people to think. They're holier than that. Is it right to pay imperial tax to Caesar or not? Should we pay or shouldn't we pay? But Jesus knew their hypocrisy. You know Jesus knows what's in your heart and what you're thinking. He knew it before they even came up and asked that question. "Why are you trying to trap me?" he asked. "Bring me a denarius," that's a coin. "Bring me a denarius and let me look at it." They brought the coin, and he asked them, "Whose image is this, and whose inscription?" "Caesar's," they replied. Then Jesus said to them, "Give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." And they were amazed at him. Yeah, because they couldn't have thought of nothing that smart, could they? No. Jesus knew what they were going to do before they even did it. Sad. Just sad. But that's where we're stopping with the book of Mark today. But they don't stop there harassing Jesus. They do this all the time to him. Okay, so Psalm 47. It's just a short psalm. It's for the director of music of the sons of Korah, a psalm. Clap your hands, all you nations. Shout to God with cries of joy. For the Lord Most High is awesome, the great King over all the earth. He subdued nations under us, peoples under our feet. He chose our inheritance for us, the pride of Jacob, whom he loved. God has ascended amid shouts of joy, the Lord amid the sounding of trumpets. Sing praises to God, sing praises to our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing to him a psalm of praise. God reigns over the nations. God is seated on his holy throne. The nobles of the nations assemble as the people of the God of Abraham. For the kings of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. Amen. And that was Psalm 47 of the sons of Korah, a psalm. And ending today's Bible reading is Proverbs chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. What the wicked dread will overtake them. What the righteous desire will be granted. When the storm has swept by, the wicked are gone, but the righteous stand firm forever. Speaking of a storm, we had a bad storm here last night. Winds were awful. Down where my aunt and my mom and all of them live, they lost power at like 9 o'clock last night, and it didn't come back on till this afternoon sometime. Our lights were flickering really bad. I thought for sure we was going to lose power. This building here we live in is a brick building, and we can hear the wind. That's how bad it was. I mean, they said once it started last night, the weatherman said the wind, it wasn't going to stop for 12 hours, and it was bad. They said there'd be a lot of power outages, and there was. I don't know how ours was lucky to not have ours not go out, but thankfully everybody that I know of right now has electric again, so that's good. Baby showers tonight, and then Mom's going to go. I think it's at 6, so she's probably already on her way there if she's not there already. They're having a big restaurant in town. Addie's birthday was yesterday. She was 24. But that was our Bible reading for today, guys. I hope it touched your hearts. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye, guys. God bless.